Greetings, friends. Thank you for joining the meditation for the common good. This is the experimental project on group self-organizing work. We meet 4 times a month, every week, bringing our group focus and intention on the common good. Every month cycle, we choose a topic related to one of the 3 crosses on the sky. This month, we align with a theme related to the mutable cross of which Virgo is the part. Right relations in all fields of human endeavors. We know this theme, this condition is one of prerequisites for the reappearance of the Christ, along with the cleaning the house of politics and religion, which we hold the signs of the cardinal cross, and manifesting the principle of sharing, which we hold during the signs of the fixed cross. As the main work of group magic happens during the time of the new moon, that's where our focus goes. That's when we meet to offer the seed thoughts into the group chalice to be magnetized and radiated through our group meditation. Today, on the first day of distribution of the Leo festival, we meet to meditate on the topic which was selected for this month: right relationships, listening and responding to the voice of silence. Today, we use the high potency of the full moon to invoke the vision of the unfolding plan, asking for guidance from our senior co-workers in the spiritual hierarchy, opening our group mind to receive impressions that will guide our work through the remainder of this cycle till the new moon in Virgo. Thank you for joining. And as always, we start with the pronouncing our purpose of statement. Over to you, Birgit.
Thank you, Alexander. Our purpose is to magnetize the ideas of common good, freedom, and brotherhood as the highest values of humanity at this time. We recognize and cherish diversity of perspectives in our group, creating a space capable of invoking, receiving, interpreting, and radiating a higher synthetic vision. We serve as an Asramic outpost, building a group bridge of Buddhic energy. We evoke the soul of humanity. We envision humanity as being the seed that is flowering. We prepare the way for the reappearance of the coming one. And over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Brigitte, and thank you everyone for being here today. At this time, what we do is we read the seed thoughts that we gathered from our first quarter moon meeting in this cycle of Leo to Virgo, the mutable cross. And we have 9 seed thoughts that came from that meeting. And from those seed thoughts, our topic, right relationships, listening and responding to the voice of the silence, was created so that we can further examine within and brood upon these things. The first seed thought: to listen and respect on all levels. Second seed thought: group love and group consciousness. Number 3, responding through inner wisdom to create right relationships. Number 4, listening and understanding. Number 5, listening for harmony and practicing harmlessness. Number 6, listening and finding ways not to judge. Number 7, human relations is to listen to the one soul and then act. Number 8, Snoops, SNOPES, is a good tool for evaluating the truth and what is being presented through the media. All there is love. And our last seed thought: harmlessness, self-forgetfulness, and right speech. Now we will continue our meditation and response that we will receive from it to continue delving into our topic, right relationships, listening and responding to the voice of the silence, the Leo-Virgo cycle on the mutable cross. Today, Annetta will lead us in our meditation. Over to you, Annetta.
Thank you. Let us sense the warmth of our hearts as we link together. Holding our chalice up, we invoke the impressions and energies which will guide and support the common good of humanity and our planet at this time. Our intention is to be of service, assisting human and planetary life and activity as we focus together as a group in preparation to receive higher thoughts, impressions, and energies that will later be distributed at the time of the new moon. Let's begin now by aligning to our heart, our asna, and our soul. From here, we align with the group heart, the group asna, the group soul, and the group Antakarana. Let's connect now with the hierarchy and all the unseen beings and souls who aid our invocative and evocative efforts on behalf of our service to humanity and all planetary life. We lead our minds and group mind into quiet receptivity to hierarchical energies, ideas, and impressions that are especially available to us during the full moon tide at this time. As we work across this month, from the full moon in Leo to the new moon in Virgo, we become receptive to and aware of the energies available that will assist with our work. Leo, in the undeveloped man, is working through the lower self, the hidden point. The advanced man is working through the higher self, the revealing point. Disciple and initiates is working through the oneself, the relinquished point. We see the evolution from personality to soul and spirit, working through the lower self, the higher self, and the oneself, through the hidden point, the revealing point, and the relinquished point, the drop in the ocean of the oneself. Leo seeks release in Scorpio. Leo is the light of the soul, a reflected point of light, logoic or divine. The light diffused in Cancer focuses and reveals eventually a point. The soul says, I am that, and that am I. In this atmosphere, let us now connect with our topic for this month. Right relationship, listening and responding to the voice of the silence. Right relationship, listening and responding to the voice of the silence. As we deepen our contemplation on our topic, let us ponder the following questions. Listening with respect on all levels, to our bodies, to our soul, to each other. What can help or hinder us in listening with respect? 1. In our race and level of energy. 2 in astrology, 3 in our age, development, or circumstances, 4 how can we use what we know esoteric in our daily life? It is time now to return from the depth of our pondering. As we draw together the impressions from our contemplation, let us allow them to take form. They may come to us as words, pictures, symbols, sounds, or even colors. Drawing our impressions together, we now rest in silence for a few more moments. We see our impressions flowing together into the group heart, filling our chalice and vitalizing it with radiant light, enhancing its beauty and the wisdom of its tone. Together, we direct this light upward to the hierarchy and await their blessings upon it. And now, realizing our invocation today, we witness its radiance pouring downward from our chalice into the lower planes, stimulating all receptive hearts and minds. Grounding our work and the energies we have invoked today, let us sound the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Ooh. 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 As we close our work today, let us identify with the soul in all and apply our efforts to be in accordance with divine will. We send forth the results of our efforts, thoughts, love, and the energy of our group's work to help humanity and our Earth in all its diversity and ultimate unity through its transformational journey into the sacred planet. We do this through focused direction of energy from our group Ashna, sending the light out to higher beings, to other spiritual groups, to the soul of humanity, and to all sentient beings as we assist the forces of light. Thank you.
Thank you, Annetta. That was a lovely meditation. Let us hold a few more moments now in silence to write down our impressions before we open our time of sharing. Also, the Community Impressions Board is now available on the homepage of the 2025initiative.org website. We extend an open invitation to all of us here to continue sharing our impressions across the next 2 weeks as we prepare for the evocation that will occur at the time of the new moon. Let us open up our sharing time now. So whoever would like to speak, please unmute yourself and share with us your impressions or thoughts. And then we will move on to the next person. So let's give maybe just a few moments between each of us so that we can register everything that was said and then move on to the next sharing. So the sharing time is now open. Hello, Jill here. Thanks, Annette, a lovely meditation. I think on question 1, fatigue and tiredness can hinder a lot. I know I suffer a bit that way, and the personality will always try to fight back. So it's a case of being strong and overcoming it. And we must always use discernment as we work. And I'm not sure on question 2, but what I've put is that certain planets' energies will help by encouraging love and cooperation, while some perhaps might hinder a bit, or perhaps it depends also on the actual person. On question 3, I've put it can be difficult when dealing with adverse reactions from friends and family when we decide to do this sort of work. And it means that you really need to stay firm and remember why you've started it in the first place and carry on. And on number 4, I have put the esoteric teachings tell us that we should discern things as we go along so that we pick the right things to follow and leave the wrong ones behind. We must practice self-forgetfulness and not think about what the personality is telling us, but carry on the work anyway. And we must have faith. I think I always keep coming back to St. Julian of Norwich with her "all shall be well." And I think to hold that in your mind can always be helpful. And we can listen for the Master's advice, and we can prepare ourselves for leadership roles in the future. Thank you.
Hello, this is Judy. When I looked at the overarching sentence, listening with respect on all levels, I thought of listening from the center of the even arm cross. So listening vertically and listening horizontally, because I think as light workers, that's our job, if you will, to really listen to impression, to listen to vibration. And I will even expand the idea of listen. It's not listen as in with your ears, it's listening by touch, by feeling energy, by understanding the meaning behind words, by understanding where someone is coming from when they speak, by understanding where we stand when we're listening. Those are all important pieces. And so when I looked at this topic, it really is quite expansive. And I think as we become better listeners, and I'll put that in quotes, we become more sensitized both to the plan and to humanity, and how those two can be synthesized or integrated. I looked at astrology and I thought about today and the idea of the fact that we all stood together in the energies of Leo and Sirius. So as astrology and those points when gifts are made available to us, energies are made available to us, the idea of deep listening is really important, that we listen together not as individuals, and not even as individual souls, but as group soul, as the one planetary soul, if you will, so that we can receive through a myriad of antennas, not just our own. And we can basically use that field to support our work and what we hear. So thank you.
I have a response as well. I was thinking that when we were talking about these subjects of right relationships, that we come to the awareness that we are in such a privileged, advantaged position that we must understand that we have a place to go at a higher level of soul consciousness. We have so many levels of awareness that many people don't have. And so to bring our compassion and our heart and our mental and clarity of understanding when people may be just locked into a physical, emotional, mental response or way of relating, and that we can utilize that awareness in ourselves to connect soul to soul, heart to heart, mind to mind in a silent way, and be open and receptive to listening, deep listening. And instead of responding with counter narratives, we can also ask deeper questions of people when we're in interactions at a soul level. Go to a deeper question. People don't need to have soul consciousness to go more deeply. Everyone can go more deeply, but very few of us are invited. So I think those are a couple of things that remind me at the personality and soul level. In terms of astrology, for me personally, because I'm Pisces Sun, Aquarius rising, I'm very focused on this transitional period, both in myself as a microcosm and as a larger picture in the world of energies. So I think honoring the positive strengths of both and being aware of the shadow side of each as well can help us in this time and this cycle of crisis that we're in. That's enough. Thank you.
That's a deep subject, really. And it's interesting that to me, this level of hearing requires acceptance on all the point of accepting things as they are, we see them at this moment, with the realization that our view will change. It's not might change, it will, because change is the rhythm of our existence. And when we were, I was living in Russia, and we were working with the groups, and past that still, there was an exercise that was given to small children, like when you try to work with small children, and the exercise, and for grown-ups as well, is to sit in quiet and listen to the silence, and absorb the silence as if it would be, water or energy or sunlight, to the point that you're filled with it and you can spend it, basically. And the way you're spending it is that it's present in your daily moment until all of a sudden you, like in children, it's easy. You see that all of a sudden they start yelling, you know, they're like running without sense. That means they extend this silence and they need to restore this, you know, battery, so to speak. And you sit like that in silence until you start hearing the world around you. And next level is to carry conversation without losing the silence within and around you. And the next level is to carry heated conversation without losing it. And when you lost it, that means, you know, that's it. That the true conversation is over because there's no hearing involved anymore. It's just output. So I think what's essential is the volume within ourselves, within our aura, within our group aura, this volume that is able to receive. The quality of that receiving field is also extremely important. It also changes. And there comes astrology, there comes Ray, there comes ability to work with heavy karma, you know, as a person, as a group, when, you know, and ability to work with the problems that are humanity problems, the problems of humanity. So when we work with that level, we need this volume of silence and a responsive and accepting field that will be matching to the gravity of this problem. So part of that is also working through the centers. There are the individual centers, group centers, and humanity centers. So kind of choosing the right voltage, choosing the right equipment for the voltage that we're receiving of the energy, and realizing the level of silence that we need as a group to hold it. So sometimes for certain problems, you know, we just can't speak because we will spend whatever is needed to actually receive this subtle impression. And it all will go into words. Silence and time to decipher what's given in that silence. Thank you. Over. It was Katya.
Listening now, I remember it at some point in my teenage years, probably closer to the end of the high school, I experienced this moment of being lost. Till that time, you know, the entire my daily life was regulated by rules and rhythms imposed on me either by my family or by school, and I knew what I have to do. It was quite I don't want to say easy, but kind of unquestioned path. And then suddenly, when those come into the adulthood, as I graduate from school, I suddenly realized that those rhythms and those rules are not so much now condition me, and that now I have to make choices. I have to decide what is right, what is wrong. And it was now my task to build up my relationships with the world, with the society. And I was, in a way, not scared, but was kind of this this sense of, oh my God, that's what it means to be an adult, to make your own choices and take your own responsibilities. And so, in a way, I remembered about this moment in relations to this listening to silence, listening to inner self in order to build right relationships with our own body, with own soul, with each other, with people around me. It's that exactly that point of maturity where each of us at a certain point reaches, where we are able to connect with that, the voice of silence within, with the own soul that guides us. And we're now in the energies of Leo, and Leo, we know it's related to individualization, to come in a way an adult in esoteric sense. It's like in that table that Annette used in the meditation, undeveloped man, advanced man. Maybe I can show that on the screen again. It's a very interesting table. Thank you, Annette, for offering us to consider it in our meditation. So it's that when we come into this point of esoteric adulthood, or becoming that, it's called Tibetan called advanced man, it's that point of light within, that revealed point of light keeps us and guides us through all our choices. And yes, as Judy said, it's that standing in the center of the even armed cross, where we have horizontal reach out to the world, to society, building out right relationships horizontally, and at the same time maintaining right relationships in vertical alignment. Thank you, Annette. Thank you.
I just want to comment on that table that the idea of relinquishing point is something I really pondered in the meditation. That really gave me pause. And what we are relinquishing in many ways is our personal self, to be the one self. So I hadn't heard the words put like that, but it was very heart opening. Thank you.
The other day, I hit my hand on something and I thought, oh, I'm going to have a bruise there. And yes, I have the entire top of my left hand is covered with a black purple bruise with a raised spot that where was the impact of the trauma. And as we were reflecting on these questions and listening to our bodies, it became apparent to me that we need to love the bruising. We need to love and listen to the impact of trauma on our bodies and the process of the bruising, which is the process of healing. And that was illuminating to me. Thank you for including that in meditation.
This is Annette, and I agree with you, Marty. I got stress on my work, and I later understood that it was because I didn't listen to my body. My body said no, my body said stop, and I didn't listen because everybody else could, and I thought I also could. So we need to listen and discern the level of where we listen to. If it is our bodies, our soul, or each other. So I think that's very important. And another thing, in the rays, for instance, a fifth ray can't see the wood for the trees, all the details. So it is difficult to listen sometimes, and fifth ray can block intuition to anything that is not logic. And I agree with you, Dylan. And when we have low energy level, it makes it difficult to listen. Regardless which race we have. The first ray, for instance, is very good at skipping all the details and cutting to the inner essence, the overall picture before anybody else. And it makes you not listening to others because you know you're right. So such help or hindering is are we getting from all our rays? And in astrology, for instance, if you have Mercury in a fire sign, it is easy to speak first and think afterwards, and then you don't listen to others. So this is how you can use the esoteric teaching in daily life. Thank you.
I found an interesting passage in the book, The Voice of the Silence by Blavatsky on page 19. I'm just going to paraphrase some of this, what she has said here, but it really spoke volumes to me. Silence thy thoughts and fix thy whole attention on thy master, whom yet thou dost not see, but whom thou feelst. Long and weary is the way before the disciple. One single thought about the past that thou hast left behind will drag thee down, and thou wilt have to start the climb anew. Kill in thyself all memory of past experiences. Look not behind, or thou art lost. I think when we're talking about listening and responding to that voice, that inner voice, we have to, this is saying basically to me that, you have to surrender and give up everything that you've known, everything that you've thought, all your emotions and your feelings and your mental attitudes and that type of thing. And, they always say, you have to go to God as a child, meaning you're open. I think that is one of the things that listening and responding to that voice of silence, we have to get to that voice of silence first. And I just think that, again, the pupil must regain the child's state he has lost ere the first sound can fall upon his ear. What a hard and difficult task that is. It sounds easy, just don't think about the past or whatever, but one of the most difficult things to do, especially in this day and age with so much information, input that is being shared in the etheric body of humanity right now, through, I'm going to give the example during COVID or whatever, just all kinds of things. And having to just let all that go, it's hard to, again, the detachment. Detachment is huge. And I think when we detach, we can then allow ourselves to truly start to listen. Thanks.
Tracy, I think that was all well put. I think when we do slide to the past, we're often engaged emotionally in ways that we need to definitely leave behind. I also, the chart that we saw, the relinquished point spoke to me again. It seems like we're especially blessed to be in a spiritual group of this sort. And I think as we listen to one another and learn and grow, we advance sort of from point to point. We redefine this aspect or recognize that aspect. And I think till listening to that voice of silence, there are moments in which may eventually become more permanent, where we rise above all of it and find that relinquished point. The relinquished point means, to me, a redefinition finally on the level of the oneself. And it's a redefinition of who we are that's so much more expansive than what we've experienced before. Thank you.
I can tell you it is from Esoteric Astrology, page 332. This chart. And I also think it's what we need is to discern the voice of the silence from all the other voices, and discern, is it the lower self, the higher self, or the one self we are listening to? Thank you.
If anyone else would like to offer own recognitions and impressions of the meditation, please do it now as we approaching the closing of the meeting. But we will have another opportunity to continue our reflection and sharing on this rich topic at our quarter moon meeting, which we will meet on this coming Friday, August 15 at 2:30 Eastern Time. Over to you, Maria Cristina. I see your microphone is unmuted.
Oh, my thoughts are so full. There is no time. So Friday, but I would just, it's a very rich topic indeed. And the definition of occult science is very interesting. But I would just say it's full of paradox. Everything that has been said, it's almost like the opposite. But I guess what I will focus on is the importance of how much the questions we ask define the answer. And it was very insightful and very difficult too. Someone mentioned to shift a conversation to a higher question. Even the questions from this last month that focused on sharing at one point was versus giving. And then I thought all of these questions are skewed in the favor of sharing. It could have been questions and paradox is where I'm left. Thank you.
I think the paradox comes from when you view a question from different angles. Thank you.
And in a way,
I will just add one little phrase as I looked up occult silence from the Tibetans. The first thing that hit me was silence is not refraining from speech. That's the beginning of a good one. All right.
thank you, friends. Let us continue holding this topic and the questions that Annette offered for us for reflection in our group mind, in the focus tension of group reflection. And please note the dates and time for our quarter moon meeting, August 15th, this coming Friday at 2:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Universal Time, 6:30 p.m. Universal Time. And we continue holding our group and intergroup tension as the energy of the Leo full moon continue unfolding in these days of distribution. And stand together with all 72 groups who work at this full moon in telepathic alignment with each other. So let us close our meeting today, and I invite, if anyone is moved to offer a mantra to close our work today.
I'd like to do a short reading, again from Blavatsky's Voice of the Silence. Behold, thou hast become the light. Thou hast become the sound. Thou art thy master and thy God. Thou art thyself, the object of thy search. the voice unbroken that resounds throughout eternities, exempt from change, from sin exempt, the seven sounds in one, the voice of the silence. Om Tat Sat.